Hello! Welcome back. May 20th. Holy moly. Hey Kaylee, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you doing, Sarah?
Oh my gosh, so good, my friend. Life is amazing. Super pumped because I got new patio furniture.
I know,
I
I
know.
seen that. I was excited for you. Did you get it up yet?
Listen, when did it become the norm to receive furniture that you have to put together?
I
Like
know, right? I guess
gone
nowadays though.
gone are the days where you just order furniture and it's already put together.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah, everything comes in a box and you can't even go in the store to get it.
I know. It's crazy.
It's nuts. But
So
oh, it's gonna look so nice on your deck, the gazebo and the furniture.
pretty pumped. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They say they're gonna come fix my deck too because my deck's sinking a little bit. The people who own the house before us, they didn't put it on like a cinder block; they just put it on the ground, and so half my deck is like sinking.
It'll all be good.
Yeah, super pumped for today's topic. This is one that has been showing up a lot lately in like every reading that I've been doing, every YouTube video that I've been watching, every lesson that I've been doing in my studies. It just keeps showing up. So I thought this would be a really good one to chat about today because it's for any situation in your life, whether you're in a business or whether it's just real life, and it's feeling the fear and doing it anyways. So this book was drawn to me. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways, and it's by Susan Jeffers. She's a PhD, and she talks about techniques for turning fear, indecision, and anger into power, action, and love. And it's one of the books that really stood out to me.
I love that. And you're so true. It's so true about having having fear happen in everything, right? In our business a lot of the times, right? That's how we grow, but in everyday situations there's things come up where you just get that like gut instinct where it's like, "Oh my gosh, should I do this? Shouldn't I?" Cuz it's scary because you haven't done it and you have to make that decision, but on the other side of the decision when you do it anyways, that's the part that's like, yes.
So I was masterminding today and we were talking about fear because fear is just an illusion made up in our imagination. Like we fear the what if, and that's what it is. It hasn't even happened yet, and we fear it. And fear, if you were to break that word out, false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. And in this book she talks about different types of fear, like aging. We fear aging. We haven't even aged yet, right? Like our molecules in our skin are aging every second. We fear being disabled when we're perfectly healthy. Again, something that hasn't happened. We fear natural disasters, loss of financial security, change, war, illness, dying, being alone. And those that could happen, and some of them will happen in our lifetime. But then we fear things that require action, like going back to school, making a decision. My gosh, this is probably the biggest one. Making a decision paralyzes us. You know this, Kaylee. How long did we go back and forth where I'm like, okay, I finally need to make a decision?
Mhm.
Changing a career, huge, again, huge one. It's that what if. Ending or beginning a relationship, going to the doctor, losing weight, being interviewed, driving. I remember when my grandmother was afraid of driving. She was 65 first when she got her license, and she literally only drove for like 15 years, but then became paralyzed of driving. And I know a lot of people who won't drive on the 401.
Mhm. So true. And when you think about anything that has to do with fear, it's so attached to negativity,
Yeah.
right? Because everything you fear it for the reason of it not working or the reason of it being a negative outcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I hate fear. I
Yeah.
hate fear, but again, I love it because when you're scared about something, like I used to look at fear and just run the other way because I'm like, nope, not going there. But now when I feel something that's a little bit scary, it's like I'm feeling this way for a reason because I know what could be on the other side. But because we associate, that feeling in your body of feeling scared, the fear coming in, we associate that with a negative thing because that's what fear is. We tend to pull back from it and not do it. Now, since I've changed my mindset and I changed the outcome of what fear means to my body when I have that reaction within me, it's like, oh, this is going to be good, right? It's scaring me. It's making me feel this way for a reason. I know what is on the other side is worth it. And now when I feel the fear, I do exactly just that. I do it anyway.
It's so true. And how good do you feel after when you've accomplished something, when you've broken through that terror barrier? And I feel like it's like the old Kool-Aid commercial in 1990 where he jumps through and he's like, "Oh yeah." Like, right? Like you feel so good at the end of it. It's like one time I jumped off a cliff. Now, it wasn't very high. It might have been maybe like 10 feet up, like to the water down, maybe not even. And it took me 45 minutes. And it was just me and a girlfriend there, and there was nobody else. It was a Laura Gorge in Ontario.
Oh, cool.
And I think it was like a Tuesday. And it was my first time there. And it was like, okay, I'm going. And then I'd hit the cliff. I'm like, no. And okay, I'm going. I'd hit the cliff and go. And I'd make the arm movements. Okay, yeah, now. And it took me 45 minutes. And finally I said, okay, I'm just jumping off the side of a pool. And I did it, screamed the whole way down. And it was awesome. It was so exhilarating.
You need to jump out of a plane.
No. I'm good. I'm okay.
That, I have to tell you, is the literally adrenaline rush of life. And when I did, it was the funniest thing ever because honestly, I feel like I would have been more scared when I got there because I booked the plane tickets or however you book it, like the tickets to do it for my dad for Father's Day or his birthday. I forget which one it was. And we went, and I felt like when I got there, I was going to be scared shitless because I knew I was going to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, right? And then we get up there, and I think because we were circling to altitude and like my adrenaline was going so fast, there was, it was me, my dad, and then two other jumpers. And I think the ones that jump before us do it for a sport, like they jump all the time. So my dad and I had the people hooked to the back of us, and they were joking around with us, right? They're like, "Does this clip go here?
Oh my
Did we
God.
hook it up right?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, you did." My dad's like white.
I hope you know.
Yeah, my dad was literally white, and he's like, "No, I'm not scared." I'm like, "You are though." So
breathe,
then anyway,
breathe.
yeah, so he's there, we paid for the people to videotape us too, so we have it all on camera, but it's such a thrill because the coolest part though was when you're sitting on the edge of the plane, they literally put your head back against like his neck because you don't want to get whiplash when you fall out, and all they do is that you put your head back and they rock 1, 2, 3 and fall out. And then that's it. Like your fear's gone.
First of all, can we just back up? Sitting on the edge of a plane, falling out of a plane. These two words shouldn't go in front of plane.
Oh my God, Sarah, you have to try it. It's the best thing ever. And so cool because they said, who wants to go first? You or your dad? And my dad's like sitting there scared shitless. And I was like, I'll go first. And then my dad's like, when I seen you get sucked out of the airplane, I was like, why the fuck did I let her go? I just watched my daughter get sucked out of the plane. And then I'm falling through the sky, and the guy that's on my back, whatever they're called, tandem or whatever, he's like, look across the sky. That's your dad. And I literally watched him jump out of the plane. But I mean, everything on the other side of fear is so exhilarating, literally.
It's like Will Smith, right? Will Smith said God put everything good on the other side of fear.
Oh my God, that's so true.
And So what she says here is, what if really takes over our entire life? Like it really paralyzes us. And people who refuse to take risks live with a feeling of dread that is far more severe than what they would feel if they took the risks necessary to make them less helpless. But they don't know. And I was listening to Peter Sage. Was it Peter Sage where he talks about regret? And he says those on their deathbed, they don't talk about the things they did. They talk about the things they didn't do.
Yeah.
Right? We talk about what if, and we talk about fear as if we can't handle what's on the other side of that. We lived in caves. We wrestled bear and belugas and all of these things to create heat and warmth and meals and food. Like we created fire. We are capable of anything. And today I was listening to, I'm going to say his name wrong. If you're listening, please send me a voice note on Messenger and tell me how to say it right. Sadhguru. He was talking about that we are the most privileged we have ever been in history, and we are not even doing anything with it. We have everything at our fingertips. We can walk into a grocery store in a building that we didn't build, buy food that we didn't grow from a country that we've never been in. Right? That's how privileged we are. But when it comes to our goals or doing something that's hard, and I'm using quotations for those of you who are just listening, that's hard, we feel like we can't handle it. Crazy,
So true.
But here's the thing. You can't escape fear. You can't escape it. You can only transform it into a companion that accompanies us to all our exciting adventures. Like Kaylee said, right? She felt that fear, but she got up in that plane and she sat on the edge of a plane and then fell out of it. Right?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, even like things that you face on the daily that are scary, like not just for your own pleasure, like jumping out of a plane, but like things that are hard, like decision making, right? When you make a decision, there's the positive and the negative for everything. As you either feel it, like the fear, and then like when you make a decision, you think it can either go good the way you want it to, or it could go this way.
But why do we always think about the fear, though? Why is it that we always think about the fear? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? Have you ever made a decision and said, this could be really good?
Oh, all the time now. But before, like my mindset before was, I'm not, I know I can do that. I want to try to do it, but if I do and this happens, after but, it used to always be negative. Now, when like I said, now when I face fear and I make a decision, I make a decision knowing that everything I do on the other side of it's going to work out just the way that I want it to. And I mean, when I change my mindset to that, feeling the fear and doing it anyway, exactly what we're talking about. And I know now everything that I make a decision about is going to work out the way I want it to. Because like Bob Proctor says, only two things can happen. It works or it doesn't, but you'll never let it not work.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And Sadhguru states that we always think about the money, right? In the end, it's about the money. I am making this decision based on if I'm going to be able to pay my bills and survive, right? But he says if you truly come from a place of what it is that you truly desire and what you want to do, the money will come. Case in point, Mark Zuckerberg. He did exactly what it is that his purpose, he found his purpose, he found his drive. He's one of the richest men in the world, right? What's his name? Jeff Bezos, or what's his name from Amazon? Look at him.
Gosh.
He started in his garage, right? He started in his garage with books. And now, one of the richest men, right? If you do what you truly love and you come from a place of service, the money will come. But once you come from a place of, I need to do this in order to make this much money, the money won't come. It'll stop.
I can say for a fact that is so true. Because when you're going after the money, it blocks everything.
Mm-hmm.
Literally blocks everything. And when I stepped into my purpose just recently and started my own business with you, Sarah, everything shifted for me because I'm doing what I truly love. I'm helping people. I'm helping them get their business going and making them to be the success that they want to be. And when you come from that place, it's not about me. It has nothing to do with me.
Yep.
It's having to do with I'm sharing every single thing that I know, and so are you, to help other people be the best version of them so they can see success. And that right there is worth everything.
Yep. When you stop playing the victim, right? And I used to get this all the time. Oh my gosh, I had it drilled into my head from my family because they're like, "Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim card. Stop playing the victim card." And I didn't understand what the hell this with what it was. Like I truly thought that what I was going through like was what I was going through. But now that I look back, they were right. I was playing the victim card because you need to take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Everything. And once you understand that, you will understand the dynamics of handling fear. Mm-hmm. But you have
So
to
good.
control. Yeah. Because most of us are independent people, right? Um, it has meant that we should get a job, earn enough money to support ourselves, and not be dependent on anyone else for survival. Holy shit. Does that ever smack me right in the head? Because that's how I was raised. I was like, people are like, I always said this. So my ex actually said this to me. He's like, you're independent. You don't need anybody. And I always said, you're right. I don't need anybody. I work. I worked 3 jobs. I paid my mortgage. I paid my bills. I'm handy. I can fix things. I can build things. I can cook. I literally did not need anybody. But there's a difference between needing people and wanting to be around people, wanting to be part of something.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Such a fine line there.
Yeah.
Like to be dependent on somebody is completely different from being independent with somebody beside you.
Yeah. Totally.
I can resonate with you so much. I'm the exact same way. I'm so good on my own if I want to be, but I don't choose to be that way. I want to spend my life surrounded by people that I want in my life, right? People that I can have help me, people that I can help.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just in it for me. This is, my game and nobody else can play with me. Yeah. This is the way that I want to live. And there's people like that, right? There's people that don't want to share any of them or have anyone share any of them with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the fear. That's actually fear in people.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's the fear of getting hurt.
Yeah.
Because we relate that hurt to past experiences, like a breakup or a death, something like that, right? So, or rejection. It's that fear. So then we put on this hard shell, this independent shell of, I don't need anybody. I can do everything on my own. I don't need you. But deep down inside, we want that companionship. Mm-hmm. Did you know that it is reported that more than 90% of what we worry about never happens?
Oh, I can see that.
90%. So why be miserable when you can be happy?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why spend 90% of your thoughts thinking about what if. Why not spend 90% of that thinking, why don't I try this? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least I tried it.
Right? You'll never know. And that's the thing. That's the thing that I am completely different with now. If something doesn't work for me, I don't look at it as a failure. I look at it as a lesson. Like there's either a win or a lesson in everything that I do.
Yeah.
Right? Before I wouldn't do things because I was scared of, I had the fear of it not working, and then I would be set back and all the negative thoughts come in. But now if I jump and do something on the other side of thinking what's going to happen, you figure it out. Like you just said, Sarah, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Move on.
You know what I get a lot when I'm on calls? Well, let's be realistic, Sarah. Let's be realistic. What the fuck is being realistic? Nothing is realistic or unrealistic. There's only what we think about in any given situation. And guess what? We create our own fucking reality. That's what's realistic. Is you are creating it. You being in debt is realistic because that's you creating it. You being unhappy in a relationship where there's no love, romance, or abuse, that's realistic to you because you are creating that. But when I go out and step on my own and create my own business, my own successful business, thank you very much, I'm unrealistic because I'm not conforming. I'm not working with the norm. But this is my reality.
Everybody's reality is different.
Exactly.
So you can't say to one person, be realistic.
I know.
Because your reality is different than mine, and it's different than my neighbors or my aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
Right? So that, I know, I get that too. And it's like, do you even know what that is? Like you're creating that yourself, right?
Yeah. So negative thoughts take away your power and thus make you more paralyzed from your fear. So are you going to live paralyzed for the rest of your life? Because most people resist the fact that constant practice, write this shit down, get a pen right now. I'll give you a second. Okay. Constant practice is required, or we would all be positive thinkers. So it might help to remember that your shower, your makeup, and your shave also don't last, yet you don't have any resistance to starting your day when showering, shaving, or putting on your makeup.
How good is that?
Right? These are refreshing activities, and so is positive thinking. How good do you feel when you think positive? How good do you feel when you have a good day? How good does it make you feel to have somebody say, hey, you're in a good mood today? Like, how good does that feel?
And you know what I love doing? Well, I'm always, I shouldn't say I'm always positive. I'm human. Things come into my life where I may not be positive and I have the negative thoughts come in. But when I'm ever feeling some sort of way to boost my vibration, I love giving others compliments. I love that. Like I've watched so many videos too where somebody just gets in their car, they're not feeling good themselves. So they'll go around town and people are walking down the sidewalk and you're like, "Hey, I love your shirt." Me? My shirt? Yeah, your shirt. I love it. Oh, thank you. Go to the next person. I love your smile. Like something so small can turn somebody else's day that you don't know how they're feeling around. And then same with you, right? Or if you're not feeling good, force a smile, because when you smile, it like triggers something in your mind that maybe you're not feeling happy at the moment, but if you force a smile, it makes you feel happy because you're like, hey, wait a second, I'm smiling.
Yeah.
So
smiling actually tricks the brain into believing that you are happy. That's all it is. It's a smile. I love following. There's this one guy on TikTok. He drives by and he just shouts out like amazing affirmations to people.
Yeah.
And it just like makes their day.
I love it. I think I've seen that too.
Yeah. So what are you going to do to release fear in your life? Because I can tell you that when you release that fear and you do things that are outside of your everyday, outside of your norm, stuff that you don't do, you will laugh a lot more and you'll draw more positive people into your life because you
Mhm.
will vibrate on a different frequency. And as we know, the law of vibration attracts more to you, hence the law of attraction, right? So you will be so happy all the time. And that's not like it's not a euphemism. Like it's actually freaking true. Like when
Mhm.
you surround yourself with people who are positive all the time, like it rubs off on you.
Oh
And
my god, yeah, same with the other way, right? If you're surrounded by people that are negative all the time, you feel it.
yeah,
Just like you can walk in a room and if the room's vibing, you're walking in and you're like, "Yeah, I want to be here." And if you walk into a room and someone's not vibing, you can feel it. You're like, "Oh god, that person's having a rough day," right?
yeah. So the point is though is that you have to take the effort. Like you have to go out and do it. So the phone's not gonna ring and somebody's like, "Hey, you want to have a positive party?" Like it just doesn't happen. You have to go out and look for it, especially in the beginning, right? So surrounding yourself in a positive only, Facebook group. There's freaking millions out there. Join Wealth Whispers or Mindset Theory. Those two groups are all positivity. You will surround yourself with people. So go out and create yourself a support system. Surround yourself with people. You don't have to become best friends. You will eventually become friends, but you don't have to. You just want to borrow their energy, right? And yes, it's gonna be fearful because it's something that's unknown, but go do it anyways. Even if you get a few rejections. One of my affirmations is I always bounce back from rejection. Right? Just go out and you'll find somebody. Somebody's out there. We want to be your friend, so come join us on Mindset Theory.
Absolutely. And when I started surrounding myself with groups like this, like the two that we're in now, um, it like brings out a different part of you too that you may have never known you had. And it makes you do things that you've never done, like make a decision on the other side of fear. That's why I'm here. It really is.
I have a beautiful soul that I've been talking to for months, and I'm so proud of her. She has like I can't even believe where she came from. Like she is not even the same person. And she just did one little shift in her mindset. And she surrounded herself with the right people and now her life is skyrocketing. Like it's incredible. One day she will be on here and she will be sharing her story.
It's
It's
so amazing. So
incredible.
yeah, so I mean if you're feeling some type of way and you're listening to us and you've had so many thoughts through your mind of wanting to do things but feeling scared and you shouldn't know if you should or you shouldn't, or you just don't know to take that leap, that's what we're here to talk to you about. Sarah and I are always able to get on a call with you and talk about, what if you do, what if you don't, and really pinpoint what it is you want in life and build that roadmap to the success that you want to have. So like Sarah said, join Mindset Theory, the Facebook group, or the Wealth Whispers Facebook group. If you ever have questions or you do want to book a call with us and just go over anything that you're thinking about, email mindsettheory101@gmail.com and we can book something in with you. Also, if you ever want to hear anything different, any topics that we haven't covered, drop us an email too. We'd love to hear from you.
And if you're ready, if you are ready, like you are done being paralyzed by fear and you're ready to start a new life, join us for Reignite Your Life. It's going to be May 26th and 27th in the Mindset Theory community. And it's a free 2-day masterclass where we are going to pump you full of motivation, inspiration, and show you how you could live a true life of freedom and live out your goals. So check us out there, Mindset Theory, May 26th and 27th. And it's free.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. So, hope to see you all there. Tell your friends, tell your family. Like Sarah said, it's free. So, come on in, have a seat, and get as much as you can and make that decision right now that you're going to. Because, I mean, there's no better time than right now, right? What are you doing right now anyway?
Right?
Might as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I will see you on Monday, Sarah. Have a great long weekend.
Yes. Happy Victoria long weekend. And I think
Yes.
there's a holiday in the States, but
I'm
happy
not
long
sure what it
weekend
is.
to everybody.
Yeah, there we go. All right. I'll see you Monday, Sarah.
Bye.